Bienvenue. Hello and welcome to French Ignition. I'm Val and today I'm going to show you how to cope in French when you're meeting someone for the first time. And of course, one of the first things you'll want to do is finding out people's name. Now, this is what you say in French to ask someone's name. Vous vous appelez comment? Vous vous appelez comment? This looks like rather a lot of words all at once, but it's not so bad once you actually understand what each word stands for. The French do not say, "What are you called?" or "What is your name?" They have a funny way of asking, which is, "You call yourself how?" Or to be more precise, "You yourself call how?" The first vous stands for you, the second vous stands for yourself, appeler is call, and comment is how. You yourself call how. This is how the French say it. Now, if you want to ask about someone else's name, you're going to repeat the same structure, but obviously some of the words are going to change. So to ask about another man's name or another boy's name, you would say il s'appelle comment? Il s'appelle comment? He himself calls how. To ask about a girl's name, you would say elle s'appelle comment? Elle is she, s is herself, appelle calls, and comment how. She herself calls how. Elle s'appelle comment? And if you're talking about a group of boys or a group of girls, use il with an S for a group of boys, elle with an S for a group of girls, and if it's a mixture, use il with an S. Il s'appelle comment? Elle s'appelle comment? Now, notice that the spelling change when you're talking about the plural form, il or elle with an S. But since we're only concerned with conversation, the pronunciation is exactly the same. So all you need to really remember is il s'appelle or elle s'appelle. Now, this is for asking people's name. To say your name or someone else's name, all you have to do is repeat the exact same structure, but without the comment at the end. This is how you do it. To say your own name, just say je m'appelle, je m'appelle. I myself call. To talk about someone else's name, say il s'appelle. Il if it's a man, il with an S if it's a group of people. Il s'appelle. He or they, himself or themselves, call. To talk about a girl's name or a group of girls' names, say elle s'appelle. She or they, herself or themselves, call. Now, here are things simplified for you. This is just the basic of what you will need. To talk to someone else, just use vous vous appelez. Vous vous appelez. To talk about yourself, just use je m'appelle. Je m'appelle. To talk about he, say il s'appelle. Il s'appelle. To talk about she, say elle s'appelle. Elle s'appelle. And to talk about they, it's the same as he or she, spelled differently, but with the pronunciation it's exactly the same. Il s'appelle, elle s'appelle. Now that is pretty straightforward. And all you need to do to turn these into questions is just to add comment at the end of it. So, vous vous appelez, you are called. Vous vous appelez comment? What are you called? Je m'appelle, I am called. Je m'appelle comment? What am I called? Il s'appelle, he is called. Il s'appelle comment? What is he called? Elle s'appelle, she is called. Elle s'appelle comment? What is she called? Il or elle s'appelle, they are called. Il s'appelle comment? Or elle s'appelle comment? What are they called? And that is basically as simple as that. Now let's practice these in conversation. And in order to do so, these are some of the tools you will need. The first one is how to say I have. J'ai. J'ai. Then we'll also need a reminder of how to say et in French. Remember, there are two ways of saying that. Un with masculine words and une with feminine words. Then we'll also need some numbers. Not that many, just numbers 1 to 3. 1, 2, 3. And finally, some vocabulary, most of which you have already seen. Fils, son. Fille, daughter. Frère, brother. Sœur, sister. Animaux, animals. Chat, cat. Chien, dog. Et, and. Now, we're going to have a conversation and I am going to talk you through the way it's going to go. The first thing you're going to hear me saying is asking your name. Vous vous appelez comment? You have to tell me your name in French. Je m'appelle and your name. As well as me asking you your name, you're going to see a set art appearing which shows you something in relation to the next question I'm going to ask you, which is, in this case, vous avez des enfants? Do you have children? Now, you have to say to me, using the details you have been given, yes, I have 2 children. Oui, j'ai 2 enfants. Then I'm going to ask you for their names. Ils s'appellent comment? You have to say they are called Paul and Virginie. Ils s'appellent Paul et Virginie. Then you have to return the questions to me and say, and you? Do you have children? Et vous? Vous avez des enfants? I'm obviously going to answer you and say, oui, j'ai 2 filles. The logical question you're going to ask me is, what are they called? Elles s'appellent comment? And I am obviously going to answer you. Elles s'appellent Sarah et Juliette. Now, if you're ready, let's have the first of our conversations. Vous vous appelez comment? Vous avez des frères et des sœurs? Ils s'appellent comment? Oui, j'ai 2 sœurs. Elles s'appellent Catherine et Isabelle. Vous vous appelez comment? Vous avez des animaux? Ils s'appellent comment? Oui, j'ai 2 chats. Ils s'appellent Nico et Kotka. Vous vous appelez comment? Vous avez des enfants? Ils s'appellent comment? Oui, j'ai 2 filles. Elles s'appellent Sarah et Juliette. Voilà. Now you are ready to handle some first introductions in French. C'est tout pour aujourd'hui et à très bientôt. See you soon.